Hello everybody, this is Overboard, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2006 movie Superman Returns. So, this is the 6th movie in the Superman franchise, and it was the last one to be released, of course, out of like the original franchise. And in this one, Superman has been away from Earth for 5 years, and he returns to find that Lois Lane has moved on and has gotten married and has a kid, and Lex Luthor is plotting to take over the world and rid the world of Superman. So of course he's having to find a way to stop him again. I have a lot of mixed feelings on this movie. It's one of those that when it first came out I really liked it a lot and everything. I thought it was a really good continuation of the original Superman movies. This one is more of a sequel to Superman 2. It kind of ignores everything that came out after it. Supergirl and Superman 3 and 4, it ignores those movies. But in a way I like that, in a way I don't. Superman 4 kind of deserved to be ignored, and Superman 3 I kind of have a soft spot for, so I kind of feel like it sucks that they ignore it, but at the same time I understand why they do. And everything, because they wanted to make it more consistent with the tone of Richard Donner's Superman is what is his name? Bryan Singer was going for with this movie, because he directed it and stuff. He was wanting to make it feel like a continuation of that and be like a homage sequel to Richard Donner's Superman, and that's one of the things I have a problem with the movie. The tone is all over the place. There's times where they're trying to make it more serious and more modern and fit in modern day times, but then there's also a lot of times where they're trying to make it feel like a 70s movie too, so the tone is a little all over the place in this one. There were some things about it that I really liked, some that I didn't. I think it just could have been better as far as that goes, but as far as the cast goes, I think they had a decent cast. Brendan Roth is Clark Kent Superman. I think he does a really good job. He's not near as good as Christopher Reeves was, for sure, but he does a fine enough job and everything. I think they mostly hired him because he looks a lot like Christopher Reeve. I think they hired him more for that reason than his acting ability, and it does kind of show a little bit. His acting isn't like the best, but he's fine as a character. He does the best that he can. If you want to have him impersonate Christopher Reeves throughout the whole movie, and this was his own movie, I think it would have been a lot better if this wasn't connected to those movies. I think his performance as Superman could have been even better, and I've heard that it is a lot better on the CW show he was on. I know he had a couple appearances on them. I haven't kept up with them, unfortunately. I didn't really start getting into DC till way after the Arrowverse started, so I haven't really caught up on them. But I really thought he was good as Superman in this one. And Kate Bosworth as Lois Lane is fine. She's not as good as Margot Kidder, but she's fine. I somewhat kind of prefer her over Amy Adams in the newer ones, but I think that Lois Lane is the best one. For her is always going to be Margot Kidder for me, but I think she was fine as Lois in this. James Marsden plays Richard White, who's a nephew of Perry White, and I think that James Marsden does a decent job playing him. He's fine in the movie and everything, but I just don't absolutely love James Marsden in here because he doesn't really have a lot to do. He's just okay. Frank Langella plays Perry White, and he's okay too. He doesn't really have a lot to do, but Perry White never really does in these movies, really. But I think all of them are pretty good, and you got Sam Huntington as Jimmy Olsen, who I think was actually perfect casting. He just was absolutely perfect as Jimmy. I wish he would have had more screen time, because every time he was on screen, he kind of stole the show. He was really likable and brought some good humor to it and everything. I thought he was good in here. And Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor is fine. He's a lot darker than Gene Hackman, which, I mean, of course, it's Kevin Spacey. What do you expect? His performance is fine and everything. It is a lot weirder watching his movies nowadays, knowing the stuff about his personal life and everything. There's just knowing how big of a creep he is in real life. It makes the character more creepy in this movie and stuff. And I just thought that Kevin Spacey was okay as a character. He could have been better if they, like I said, if this wasn't a sequel to the Christopher Reeve Supermans, I think this movie could have been even better. And everything. I think it would have been better if it would have been a standalone on its own movie, but I think Kevin Spacey was okay, but he's a lot different than what they were going for with Gene Hackman and stuff, so it's one of those tonal things. It just doesn't feel consistent. They tried to make him a lot darker and everything, and there's times when he tried to be campy and stuff, but it more came off creepy because it's just, I think it's because Kevin Spacey is just a really creepy person. But yeah, I think this movie is alright. Like I said, it has some good moments too, though. There's some pretty cool moments when Superman saves people and stuff. There were ones that are done better in other movies, but it had some good moments with that. My favorite scene, though, in the entire movie is when he's saves a plane on the ball field and the crowd is cheering and stuff. It's the first time that Superman's made an appearance since he's returned in 5 years. I love that scene and everything. There are some really good moments, and the music in here is pretty cool, especially when they use John Williams' score. When it's James Ottoman's score, it's okay. I don't have anything against him. He's done some pretty good scores for other movies, but I just felt like his score for this didn't really fit the Superman movie and everything. That, like I said, this is just one of those movies that tried to be too much like the original, but also trying to be new, and it didn't work the way they were trying to. But I do think it's okay. It is definitely better than Superman 4 for sure. But it's not one of my most favorites either. It's never been one of my most favorite Supermans, but I've always somewhat liked it. Like I said, I kind of also have a little nostalgia for it because I saw it when it first came out in the theater and stuff with a friend and everything. So I enjoy it for those memories, but it just isn't one of my most favorite movies. I like it, but I don't love it. I feel like a big part of the problem is it's just kind of boring. The movie's way too long and everything. It's over 2.5 hours. They could have cut it down at least 30 minutes or so and it would have been better. But for what it is, I think that Superman Returns is still a fun movie and everything. It just isn't a great one. So I'd say I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Like I said, it's fine for what it is. It's not like the worst movie ever, but it's definitely not one of the best either. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Superman Returns, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.